Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet Radio. Here, as we're getting ready to get into our baseball segment here today, and we're going to talk about the most recent trade that we just seen here in MLB, and trade that everybody's been talking about here. As I'm your host here, Rashizi, and we're going to be talking about the big trade that Atlanta and Detroit has made. Atlanta, of course, trading the young upcoming star there. He's been around for a while now. I'm talking about Atlanta trading off Jason Heyward, taking and getting a big acquisition from Detroit. That band being Theo Bonds. So big trade there. You know what? I'm not surprised about this because it's been talked about this. Of course, Bonds is the cousin, I believe, third cousin of Barry Bonds, and he's kind of got that same kind of attitude, which a lot of people disagree with me. But of course, I've never met this young man, but he seems like he has that attitude that he is kind of like his cousin. He is a baseball god. Now, don't get me wrong; he is a great player. Of course, this is if you guys don't know, this is the son of Teddy Bonds, the well-known NCAA coach football, who currently right now is with the Highland Scotties, who's having had a great career and season with them, and of course he's been at other schools and won other championships at other places. But his son, this is his eldest son, and he's this young man, and he has broken the home run derby or single home run record. Of course, obviously broken. Who originally, who last we seen was Barry Bonds, who broke Hank Aaron's record there, and whatnot. But there's something about this young man that I don't know much about, and I hope we get to learn more. But at least what I've heard from people in the amongst his inner circle there, he's a great guy. He's but he's very he's got a competitive aspect to him, I guess, to the point where he can kind of be mean about it. And right now both teams are playing very well here, and of course, obviously we'll have to see who's going to have the better trade. Obviously that'll be depending on who's going to be in the playoffs and who's not, and of course who's going to be winning and hoisting a trophy, that being the World Series trophy. And we'll have to see if that will be the case here coming up here in the next couple of years. But yeah, a big acquisition here for both teams. Jason Heyward, of course, one of those up-and-coming players there for Atlanta. He's been moved around quite a bit, playing several other teams. But I think with the Tigers, with their issue here, I'm surprised the Tigers did not go pick up an arm. That's one of the things I know Bonds has harped about quite a bit, as they need a good arm, and a decent arm there to help them out on the stretch, which is coming up pretty soon here for baseball. They need a good arm here, but I guess apparently they need an outfield. They need some outfield help. Of course, Bonds this was his last year, as a arbitration player. So next year he would be eligible to obviously go anywhere he wanted to. And depending on how well he does there in Atlanta, the sky's the limit. Right now, some of you right now at home, if you're watching the live stream portion of this instead of the podcast, listening to this, but you're watching the live stream, you're seeing the highlights here from that game that he just had in the last just a day or so ago. And he played very well there. He had 2 home runs. He finally got a hit there. He kind of looked pretty rough there in that first game against the Pirates there when he got first game after he got traded. And he kind of looked a little rough. Of course, he's not used to NL pitching, which is really no difference between the two. But I guess the ballparks are different because he's never been to Atlanta. But he's put up some really good numbers there. Had a hell of a defensive game there, especially that double play there towards the end that you see there on your screen. Did a great job there, and just overall well round players. You take a look. look at some of his numbers there this season. And I mean, you can't really hate the kid too much, but I just hope he doesn't get on that level like his cousin Barry, because Barry was very toxic in the clubhouse, very just demanding, and just thought he was, that he was yes, he was a corner piece of of course, obviously at the Giants many years ago, but he wasn't everything. He couldn't, he obviously can't go out there and pitch. He can't obviously go out and play outfield and the infield at the same time while pitching. But I'm hoping this young man, somebody will sit down with this young man. I know with Theo Bonds, he comes from a great family. His father, well-known guy in the NCAA community, especially, there in football. And of course, his brother TJ, who is his upcoming coach. He's coach for Stanford there for a little bit there. And of course, he's looking for a new job right now. I think he's right now coaching in the ranks there in the junior college circuit, just like his dad did back in the day. As he kind of got away from coaching, he wanted to do something more close to home with him and his wife and his 3 kids that he has. But he comes from a well family, a family that at least with Teddy Bonds, he's a no nonsense guy, but at the same time, he has a good head on his shoulders, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to talk to his son or whoever his son's close to, besides his dad. They can talk to him and let him know that this is a game of a team game, and it takes not just you, but it takes 9 others. Not to mention just the whole roster, so the whole 26-man roster. It takes all you guys to get to the promised land there. So let's, like I said, I think it was a good trade. I think if anybody won out of this trade, I think it was Atlanta. I think that's going to help them out with take that pressure off of Freddie Freeman, and obviously get something going for them. Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here today on ESGNet, as we're back here for another episode of Theo Bonds and Road to the Show here on the channel. As we've seen a little small portion there of the ESGNet radio broadcast there with Ursizi talking about Bonds, and of course obviously his trade, and of course his little bit of his attitude. I mean, he got a little bit of an ego with him, but I think he's more happy now here in Atlanta than he is in Detroit, because Detroit, there was not much pitching there. There was not much help with the pitching. Of course, if you look at the lineup there, obviously there was a few guys there in the lineup. I mean, the lineup was pretty decent. I will say the lineup has gotten better for Detroit, but but at the same time, the pitching was still lacking there. But and of course, like, I kind of agree with him. I kind of say who got the better deal. I think Atlanta got the better deal, but we'll see if that turns out to be the case, because obviously we'll see if which one of these teams will be in the World. Obviously one of these 2 teams are going to be in the World Series, because they're World Series favorites, and obviously are leading the division right now, at least for the time being, as we head into the final stretch of the season. So today's episode, we're going to be in Milwaukee as we're taking on Milwaukee. I believe it's the first time we actually get to play against Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. You guys obviously can correct me in that, but I don't think we've ever played in Milwaukee with Theo Bonds here. So, like I said, of course the trade went through. Of course, Jason Heyward now with Atlanta, or with Detroit, and of course we're with Atlanta here in the ATL. So it's like I said, we're gonna be playing some baseball here. The Brew Crew, of course, 33 and 35 for the season. There's 2 games underneath 500. Split in the last series with Philadelphia, 2 games apiece. Of course, Brewers are 10 games back of the Pirates right now, who we just played there in the last episode. Brewers right now 4 and 6 in the last 10 games. So Bonds not so well there in the first at bat here. We'll see what we can do in this next at bat here, as like I said, we're at home. We'll finish off this homestand, and of course we're against Milwaukee. And this one, drop ball there, and Bonds, he gets tagged out there. I think he would have had it if he would have slid, but nonetheless, there he gets tagged out, as I believe the second baseman just made a horrible whiff on trying to get that catch there into shallow right field. So single there. They're going to go ahead and credit him for a single there in that last at bat that we just seen. Bottom of the sixth. This one gets all this. He gets all this one, ladies and gentlemen. That ball's up and it's gone. Home run there for Theo Bonds. As that is home run number 30 for him. His third home run as a Boston or as a Atlanta Brave here. Jeez, what city am I in? But yeah, it's a solo shot there. And the fans, of course, here in Atlanta are enjoying this here so far here. Been a lot of good talk here for Bonds. And so far what he has done here in just a short amount of games he's been played in so far here. As he a little bat flip there. He knows he had the last piece of that football or that baseball there. I'm in baseball, I promise. I know what I'm talking about here. Doing so many videos right now, I'm just getting kind of confused with myself with all this stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the diamond here today. As we see now, Bonds 2 for 3 here. He has a 1-2 count, and this is going to be out to shallow center field. That's going to be great hit, great single there for Bonds as he gets himself on board and it gets a nice at bat. But yeah, I kind of agree with the little podcast there we had of the baseball portion of that show, and Rasheed is saying, maybe he needs to have a talk with his dad or someone with him, and kind of just and I think with him being traded now here, I think he might be happy. I think that was the biggest thing, because I know last season we tried to get traded and they did not want to make the trade. They were trying to hold on to us, and of course they did invest quite a bit of money into him. I think it was his last year's contract was like 28 something million. This one year, his final year on the contract is 28 or 27.4 million. So they're trying to keep him as long as they can, but at the same time, you got a guy that's angry, frustrated, and upset with the way the team's going, and the team's not going the direction he thought they were going to. At least they presented him that, hey, this is what we're going to do. It's kind of both on both ends of the spectrum. It's kind of on his part. Well, you got to do your part too. But at the same time, if you're doing your part and the other side's not doing their part, you kind of like, okay, it's time for me to go. And of course he did. He brought him a World Series. He got him a World Series, which is nice, and got him to the playoffs quite a few times there. But yeah, I get at some point here, both sides got to kind of move on, and I think that's what they did here in this aspects with that trade. So we take a look here. We see Atlanta will, of course, win the first game of this series here. Win this one. Final score 5-2 as Bonds goes 3 for 4 in the ball game with a home run, an RBI, and 2 runs scored here in this game. So nice job there as they win game 1. We'll see if they can go out here and do it again here tomorrow night and try to win game 2 of the series. So there you see the numbers there, and of course, like I said, Bonds doing a really good job here. 3 home runs already here now as a Atlanta Brave, and showing off the power that we are very accustomed to seeing him do here in Road to the Show. So now we get out here for the second game here of this 3-game set with Milwaukee, and you guys got to definitely check out the podcast there for ESGNet Radio. Always a good time there with Rasheed, and of course Jamie Roberts, his co-host there, talking about what's going on in the world of sports, what's been going on in the world of here, that players that we follow here on ESGNet. Now, let's get back to this one here. As there's 2 runners on board, and it's a 1-1 count. Nobody out here for Bonds, as he is looking to obviously try to drive home these guys home, and I think he did so here on this pitch right here. This one's going to go high. It's going to go deep. It's going to go over the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run there for Theo Bonds, as he does get the dynamic challenge there. That's a 3-run shot, his 31st home run of the season. That goes 420 feet there to left center field. And a great home run there, as you see the fans in Atlanta loving what they are seeing from this man. They believe this is a good investment, and that's the thing for Atlanta. If he can keep putting up numbers like this and keep showing this from game to game, and especially get them into the postseason here, I'm telling you now, Atlanta's gonna be that first team on the that's gonna be bidding him for for his services for quite some time here. And of course, that's one of the big, huge decisions we got to make here. Obviously we were talking about his dad. Actually, today is Father's Day here, at least in this game. As we see a ball hit here high and deep, it is back, and that is a home run there from Theo Bonds. As Papa Bonds, Teddy Bonds Sr. is out here. As he is, we'll see the ball again, sky out there. 437 feet there deep as he has his 32nd home run. A nice solo shot there. As, that's the home of the Braves. As Bonds does a great job here just hitting this ball here high and deep there. And like I said, this is, not to mention, having him in a new city, having him probably a little more happier now, but not to mention a guy probably like Freddie Freeman, he's probably happy that there's a guy out here that can take off the pressure from him when it comes to the long ball situations here, or runners in scoring position here. Now he can kind of breathe and relax and kind of focus in other parts of his game. As we go now to the bottom half of the fifth, as Bonds, of course, is going to lead off here. It's now 4-0 here, and he will swing and miss there, as he'll take this one back to the dugout with a K on his ledger. And as we see there, first out of the inning here on that 0-2 count. Couldn't pick up that pitch there, as that one's a little in the dirt there. But he tried his best to get something going there. Take a look here, a recap of the third inning, which we see him just slam this ball right out of the ballpark, screaming like nobody else. And if you ever heard a baseball scream, it sounds like a goat yelling, or just a goat, whatever a goat sounds like. That's what a baseball basically screams like. Anyway, get to the bottom of the seventh here. We're trying to see here. This one's high and deep out to left field, and this one's going to stay in the ballpark. No problem there for the left fielder to track this one down, as Pedro Freeman gets Bonds out there quickly. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the seventh, as Atlanta is leading this one 4-0. Going now to the bottom of the eighth, and we'll see what Bonds can do. As it's a 5-2 ball game here with one runner on board and 2 out. We'll see if Bonds can get something going here. Oh, a nice snag there from the shortstop, who just puts his glove up there, makes a nice defensive stop. Nice play, and that will end the inning here. As we take a look here and see, game number 2 goes to the Atlanta Braves, as Overstreet gets the win. Nice play there from him, and of course from the guys here, as that's now 3. He's hitting what now? I'm trying to think here. 2 in the previous episode, 1 in the first game. So he's now hit 6 home runs now in these first 3 games that he's been a part of. At least the first 4 games, I should say. I should count the one that he went over 4 in. But the first 4 games here he's been a part of. He's now hit 6 home runs as a Brave. And he helps get the big win there. 5-2 is your final score here in game number 2 against Milwaukee. So nice play there, nice job there from the guys. As Overstreet, of course, gets a nice win there. He gets 7 innings of work, and of course gives up 4 hits there, and gets his W here for this one. Now go out here, and it's going to be Major League Baseball presented by MLB Network, as will be seen by millions, if not millions, of people watching the game here today. As Julio Teheran will, of course, be on the hill there for us, and we'll try to see what we can do and to help him out. There you see Julio Teheran's numbers there. 13 starts he's been in so far. He's 5-5, so he's had 3 rough starts previously. ERA 3.44, 72 strikeouts there for him. Like I said, try to get him some run support here today, and to do so, it's going to have to go through this man right here. So we'll see what Bonds can do here. 32 home runs, 79 RBIs for him for the season. As we'll see the pitch here, he's going to go after this one here. This one, gets on his hands there, and should be an easy play there for the left fielder, who tracks this one down and ends the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for Atlanta, as there's no score coming across. Milwaukee does get the only hit so far here in the game. And there you see the fans there of Atlanta trying to get some momentum going here for the ball club. Bottom of the fourth now coming up here for Bonds. As he, of course, obviously flew out there in the first. We'll see what he can do here in the bottom of the fourth. As he is going to look like he's going to take the first pitch here. And he gets this one here. And, gets underneath this one just way too much here. Looks like it's going to be called there by the third base. And he makes a nice catch there on that pop-up. And that will retire Bonds here in the fourth. As we move on now to the sixth inning here. Bonds coming up here. He's 0 for 2. He's popped out and flied out already here today. So with nobody on and 2 out, we'll try to see if he can try to keep this inning alive now. And maybe try to get a 2-out rally going here for him. As we'll see the first pitch there. Nice pitch there for him on this 1-2 count. This one's going to high and deep over the fence and left field. That ball is up and it's gone. Home run there for Theo Bonds. As that's his 33rd of the season. His 7th home run as a new Atlanta Brave here. And, what can you say? This kid, he's on fire right now. And I'm sure the general manager and whoever else was involved in this trade here are probably thinking, like, this was a good trade. We did great. As he is putting, butts in seats and obviously putting the runs up on the board. So now it's a 3-1 ball game here. Things are just kind of shifted here as Milwaukee is able to come back here. I believe it was the bottom of the there in the top of the 8th there. Made a nice little comeback here. We'll see what Bonds can do here. As Bonds gets a hold of this one here. He's we might be down by 2, but it's going to be down by 1 here with just swing of the bat there as he hits his 34th home run of the season. His 8th home run as a Brave. As the fans are behind him in this one. They're still down by a run here with nobody out here. So maybe this is the start of something here in the bottom of the 9th. Maybe they can get a nice walk-off. They can get some more runners on board here. And try to get back in this ball game to try to sweep this series here. And obviously take this series completely away from Milwaukee here. As they've already taken 2 games out of this series against the Brew Crew. As this one is just a beautiful shot there. Nice job. Out to right center field, but unfortunately not going to be the case there as Milwaukee is able to turn things and able to hold on to the lead here, that 1-run lead. They'll win this one 3-2 is your final score. As Bonds goes 2 for 4 in the ball game with 2 home runs. It's 33rd and 34th home runs of the season. 2 RBIs and of course 2 runs scored there for him. Great performance there for him as he had a really nice weekend. It looks like he went, 3, 5, 6, 6, 4, 9, 13, yeah. So nice job there from him as he just had a really beautiful weekend. As, just a great go there for him. And just put up those numbers like he was doing there in Detroit. So, like I said, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Who got the better deal right now so far? At least for right now, I think Atlanta got the better deal here. We'll see how things go on here as we're still in the month of June. Get ready next episode we'll get ready for this 4-game series against Pittsburgh. We played against Pittsburgh last episode, when we realized we were traded, and we'll see how we do there on the road as we go to Pittsburgh. And go to PNC Ballpark and see how well we do against them as we start this nice little 7-game road trip. Like I said, it starts off in Pittsburgh and will end in New York against the Mets. And you guys will see that Pittsburgh series coming up in episode 241 coming up very, very soon. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Road to Show all summer long here with Theo Bonds and several others here on the channel. Don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. You guys can check us out there. Find the latest news and events and whatever is going on here on the channel, and of course for ESGNet LP. Also, don't forget to check out ESGNet LP. We got a nice Road to Show series over there with Alex Umberto. Definitely go check that out. It's a lot of fun on that one. A lot of fun putting that series together, and of course playing that series with him being on my favorite team, the Boston Red Sox. Not to mention, check us out on Twitch. That we do live stream on Twitch on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Central until about midnight. We also do live stream on Friday afternoons on Twitch at 1 p.m. to about 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time, just depending on the stream. Always a great time there, having fun, met so many great people there, and just trying to build a nice community, talk about sports and sports gaming, and just what's just been going on in pop culture and all that kind of stuff over there on that one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and of course stay tuned for here, because at some point here we will be live streaming here on this channel, and of course on our second YouTube channel, ESGNet LP, very, very soon. But that's it for me, you guys. As always, stay tuned for more here on the channel. Like I say, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you all next time.